Hey guys, Slimber here, and today we're doing like the 9 millionth video on fucking PragerU. That black thing in the background, that's my monitor. I guess I could fucking move it, but hey, that would be kind of weird for me to look at. But anyways, the video's called, what was it? Let me look at the name real quick. How the Left Sees the World, Power, Race, and Class. It's got amazing argumentative points. So let's just get into this. I probably won't even be able to debate this. The points are so great.
Why does the left hate Israel? On the surface, it doesn't make sense. Israel is a liberal democracy. It extends full rights to women, to gays, and to its many Arab citizens. Like all countries which are made up of flawed human beings, Israel is flawed.
Dennis, leftists don't like Israel because they're committing genocide right now in Palestine. You claim to be super fucking pro-life, yet you don't seem to give a shit that in 2019, Israel killed 11 fucking children. Oh right, because you only care about kids born in America and before they're fucking born. You don't actually give a fuck when they're born. The thing is, look, Israel, what they do, genocide, is not simply a flaw. It is far worse than that. A flaw is like they have a 1% poverty rate. That 1% poverty rate is a flaw. Fucking genocide isn't a fucking flaw. It's worse.
But compared to most countries, not to mention its neighbors, it is a civil rights paradise. So why does the left hate Israel? The reason is that the left, and as I always emphasize, I am talking about the left, not about liberals.
Okay, I gotta give PragerU credit here. This is the first video I've ever seen from somebody who's not a communist or an anarchist who understands that liberals and leftists are not the same thing. It's one of the first videos I've seen from somebody who's not a communist or an anarchist say that. Every once in a while, PragerU says something that's actually not fucking retarded. It's kind of weird that they do that, but it's true.
Is not guided by a moral compass. It is guided by three other compasses: a power compass, a race compass, and a class compass. Let's begin with the power compass. Instead of evaluating people and nations on the basis of right and wrong or good and evil, the left evaluates them on the basis of weak and strong.
Huh? Yeah, because Mao and Lenin and Stalin and fucking Castro and Ho Chi Minh, yeah, they definitely didn't see the fucking bourgeois, the fucking capitalists, as fucking evil, right? Yeah, they definitely don't see good versus evil.
If you're weak, you're good. If you're strong, you're bad. Israel is strong, therefore it is bad. America is strong, therefore it is bad.
No, see, you missed the point, Dennis. There's nothing wrong with the country being strong. What there is something wrong with is a country committing war crimes. And honestly, in the case of America, not only committing war crimes, but caring more about being strong than giving a single shit about its own people.
The Palestinians are regarded as weak. Therefore, they're good. When you're guided by a moral compass, you don't ask who's strong and who's weak.
When you're guided by a moral compass, you don't take the side of the country committing genocide. Honestly, if Dennis Prager weren't fucking Jewish, and this were like, I don't know, 1939, he would be like, leftists only care about Poland because they're weak. I think Nazi Germany, they're strong. Why do you hate them, huh?
You ask who's morally right and who's morally wrong.
Okay. Israel is morally wrong because it is A, committing genocide, B, won't let the Palestinians have their sovereignty. Boom. Simple.
50 years ago, Israel was not a big issue for the left. Why? Because it was perceived as weak.
No, because it wasn't committing genocide in Palestine! I don't give a fuck what Israel does when it's not committing war crimes.
But after the 1967 Six-Day War, in which Israel achieved a stunning military victory, It all changed.
Or maybe it's because they committed an unjust invasion of Egypt and were killing unarmed Egyptian prisoners. Maybe that's why.
Israel became strong, so Israel became bad.
Israel commits war crimes, so Israel became bad.
And the Palestinians were weak, so they became good. So no matter how much terror Palestinians engaged in, hijacking airplanes, murdering 11 Israeli athletes and coaches at the 1972 Munich Olympics, blowing up Israelis in pizza parlors and at weddings, the left's position never changed.
Yeah, and the right's position never changed, as Israel killed 11 children just in 2019 alone, and trust me, they've killed way more over the fucking years. Yeah, the right who likes to claim they're pro-life. People like you, Dennis. Hypocritical ass bitches.
Palestinians good, Israel bad, because the Palestinians were weak and Israel was strong.
I mean, hey, his argument may be asinine, it may be the dumbest shit I've ever heard, but it's still better than when Ben Shapiro said, and I covered this in a video about 2 years ago almost, said, they don't like genocide? How fucking dare they not like genocide? That's fucking anti-Semitic.
That's one of the 3 ways the left judges the world. You can test this theory in other ways. Why is the United States bad?
Because they commit war crimes, and they also let their own people fucking die over oil, and they also let their own people die here in the States, you know, to protect private healthcare companies. They let their fucking people go in debt pretty fucking easily. They only protect the very rich. So yeah, that's why the United States is bad.
Because it's strong. And third world countries that oppose the United States are good.
I mean, not necessarily. I didn't think Saddam Hussein was a great person, but I also didn't agree with the fact our soldiers were literally raping and murdering children in fucking, what was it, Abu Dhabi, Abu Ghraib, whatever the fuck the name of the camp was. I'll put it up here. But you can look into it too. They were raping children, raping adults, they were killing adults, they were torturing adults. Yeah, I'm not fucking cool with that, you know? But I also don't like Saddam.
Cuba, for example, has been adored by the left for decades.
Yeah, tankies. Most people are like, yeah, economically they're kind of cool, but, like, socially, fuck them.
Never mind that Cuba's Communist Party has ruined Cuba, that Cubans have no civil rights, and Cuba is one of the poorest countries in the world. Since Cuba is weak, to the left, Cuba is good. The same was true with North Vietnam in the 1960s. It was considered weak, so it was good. The U.S. was...
Yo, hold up. I don't think North Vietnam was that weak if, you know, they toppled South Vietnam, who had the United States in its fucking corner. I don't think North Vietnam was that fucking weak, because, you know, they beat the United States and fucking South Vietnam with no fucking problem, pretty much.
Strong, so it was bad. It didn't matter that America was trying to preserve the freedom of the South Vietnamese exactly as it had preserved the freedom of the South Koreans.
Well, we failed with Vietnam. In fact, we spent, what, like 10 years? No, longer than that. We spent a fucking long time in Vietnam, only to fail, so a bunch of soldiers just fucking died in vain, essentially. And I guess, you know, with Korea, you know, we succeeded in protecting South Korea. But, you know, then, and this is historical fact, we tried to fucking invade North Korea. And we failed at that. So, I mean, I guess they're not weak after all, since, you know, they both beat us on that.
The U.S. was strong, so it was bad.
Or maybe, just maybe, it was bad because we were sending our own people against their own will to go die in a war we were losing, and that we really didn't need to be in the fucking first place, and we should have just gotten out of.
Which brings us back to Israel. The stronger Israel gets, as it effectively defends itself.
Ah, yes. Defending yourself against, you know, a territory you're holding hostage that the people in it don't fucking want to be held hostage. They want to be sovereign. Yes, that's called defending yourself. Yeah, I guess the British were defending themselves when America decided it didn't want to be fucking a part of it anymore. Yep, they were just fucking defending themselves. And with that war you listed off, the, what was it, the 6-day war, 7-day, whatever, the fucking 1967, they definitely weren't fucking defending themselves because they attacked first. That's like saying Japan defended itself during Pearl Harbor.
As its economy grows and as its diplomatic position improves, the more the left hates it. The second of the left's compasses, the race compass, is another reason the left hates Israel. Just as it substitutes weak and strong for good and evil, the left substitutes non-white and white for good and evil. The left doesn't judge people by their actions, but by their race.
Right, that's why there's no white leftists, right? That's why leftists hate Karl Marx and Noam Chomsky and Vladimir Lenin. Yeah, because they're white. This point is fucking stupid.
That's why, for example, the left asserts that a black person cannot be a racist. Only a white person can be a racist.
Ah, yes, because leftists love Louis Farrakhan. They fucking love him.
And that provides the second reason Israel is labeled evil. Israelis are considered white, and Palestinians are not white. Never mind that more than half of Israel's population is not white. The result? The left essentially ignores Palestinian terror.
Wait a minute, hold on.
The left doesn't judge people by their actions, but by their race.
12 seconds later.
Never mind that more than half of Israel's population is not white.
You just contradicted your own fucking point.
And loudly condemns Israel's responses to terror. Now to the left's third compass, the class compass. This is the third way in which the left replaces traditional Western and Judeo-Christian categories of good and evil. Instead of judging people's actions by the same moral yardstick, that of good and evil, the left judges people's actions based on their economic class. Rich people and rich nations are bad, poor people and poor nations are good.
Not necessarily simply as people who are, better off and people who are in a shit situation are good/bad. No, it's people that hoard wealth while people have nothing, while other people are starving, while people like Jeff Bezos, like Elon Musk, hoard all the fucking wealth in the world, while everybody, all the fucking poor people get fucked in the ass. That's fucking evil. That's what I'd classify as evil.
This began with Karl Marx.
Well, no, that's not true. A lot of egalitarians felt this way. People like one of our founding fathers, Thomas Paine, felt this way about the bourgeois.
Who divided the world by economic class, not moral behavior. To Marx and to Marxism, good and evil is entirely class-based.
Yeah, in the sense of letting people starve to death, bad. Giving people housing, food, work, any sort of income, good. How is that not simple for you? Oh, right, because you're fucking rich and funded by, billionaires. Karl Marx was making a moral argument. Thomas Paine was making a moral argument. Vladimir Lenin, Mao were making moral arguments. Just because they didn't involve your little fake man in the sky doesn't mean fucking they're not moral.
Good is defined as workers, evil as owners.
Owners who were exploiting the workers. That is why they are bad.
And that is the third reason for the left's hatred of Israel and of America. They are both wealthy.
I mean, I'll admit as a leftist, I don't know how much fucking Israel has. All I care is that they're committing war crimes, and I don't like that they commit fucking war crimes.
As fewer and fewer people perceive the world in terms of good and evil, substituting a power, race, or class compass for a moral compass, you will inevitably get more evil and more hatred of the good, beginning with Israel and America, and ending with Western civilization. I'm Dennis Prager.
The cringe. I cannot fucking take it anymore. Thank God the video was over. But anyways, well, I would tell you to leave a dislike, but with the things that are going on with YouTube right now, I mean, it's still March when I'm recording this video, and I'm hearing that YouTube's getting rid of the dislike button. But if it's still there, fucking mash that dislike button. You know, fucking mash that bitch, because it could be gone tomorrow. And yeah, leave a comment, let me know I'm a piece of shit who likes weak countries apparently. And yeah, Slimber out.